Hi, hello, here I am. It is as you know, I am Penny Dix, astrologer and life. I think that's what I say. I can't remember, but it's something like that. And so many of you already in the chat, a very big welcome to my live stream talking about the energy of tonight's almost imminent partial lunar eclipse, a penumbral eclipse in the sign of Taurus at 5 degrees. Hi, Poonam, and hello from West Coast of Canada. Welcome, all of you. This is just fantastic. We've got Germany, Munich, all over the world. I love that this is so multinational and multicultural. And, we have YouTube and the internet to thank for all of that. Washington, Denmark. Hi, Anne from Denmark. And Greece as well. Fantastic. So we really do have a very wide, wide audience, I guess. Orlando, San Antonio, gosh, USA, Connecticut. Oh, I've got France. I can't read them all. There's too many. Anne from Denmark. You're very welcome. Hi and thanks. Calgary. Fantastic. Listen, I'm not going to tell everybody where everybody's coming from, because you know what? We'll be here all night with me going through who is and where is everyone from. But the one thing I really do want you to tell me is whether my lovely microphone, fondly known as Boris, is doing its stuff properly. Because sometimes, hello from Sweden, sometimes we get a kind of crackle. And I have actually ordered a new lead from mic to laptop, but it hasn't arrived yet. So at the moment you can hear me fine. Sounds perfect. Brilliant. So let's hope it stays that way. So listen, this is a pretty big deal, this full moon partial lunar eclipse in Taurus. It's visible over the whole of Europe, most of North America, parts of South America, parts of Australia, most of Asia, Russia. It is visible. For me, here in Gozo, in Malta, the actual eclipse doesn't start happening till about 9:45 my time tonight. So that's a little bit past my bedtime. I suspect after I've done this live, I will have another cheeky little glass of something and go to bed. But we're not at that stage first. And I want to tell you something else I'm going to do today, which I just thought might be quite interesting, thought-provoking to tell you. For each of your signs, I'm going to draw a tarot card for the eclipse. A lot of you are telling me how much you like me including the tarot with the astrology. So I thought it would be fun to do that tonight. So I'm going to start by just looking at the basic energies of this eclipse, telling you what to look for, asking you a few questions of what you can kind of be aware of and think, oh, Christine, tarot with astro. Yeah. Susan, okay, it's a great idea. That's good. I'm getting lots of positives for this. And there's Lady Anne, you have property in Normandy. Lucky you. Wow. And buffering on the eclipse or on YouTube. I'm not sure what you're meaning, Lady Anne. But anyway, let me go through what I want to talk about with this eclipse. We know today is the 28th of October. And basically the nodes, the North Node, which is all about where we're going, our destiny, has been in the sign of Taurus, but it is now actually in the late degrees of Aries, because remember, the nodes move backwards. So the South Node that was in Scorpio has now moved into Libra. So what we've got now is this Aries-Libra axis. Now, the reason why it's important to pay attention to this is because this partial lunar eclipse today in Taurus is the culmination of the energies that we've had since April the 20th this year, when we had a solar eclipse in the sign of Aries, and May the 5th, when we had a lunar eclipse in Scorpio. So what I'm going to ask you now is to have a think back to what was going on for you around April this year and May, the end of April and the beginning of May, because then what I'm going to say to you is whatever got started then, you may find that with these particular eclipses that we're experiencing now, we had the total solar eclipse, and that was 2 weeks ago, and that was in Libra. And now we're having this partial lunar eclipse, full moon. Remember, it comes with a full moon in Taurus. Whatever started for you in April and May this year is seeing something shifting at the moment around the energy of whatever that was. Let me know in the chat if that makes sense to you. Oh, Annabelle, you like the jewelry. Thank you. This lady that does the jewelry, I'll just do a quick little advert for her. I am going to be putting her link in my website, but we haven't actually done it yet because we're waiting till we do the rebranding. So I will wear this stunning, this is recycled gold. And this is recycled gold done in filigree. I mean, I sound like QVC TV now. I mean, someone can't get their brain in gear today. Look, only today I can't get my brain in gear any day. So, and you, Jenny, you felt emotional today. Well, you know, we always find the energy of a full moon evokes these kind of feelings in us. How have I felt? I've actually, interestingly, felt quite positive. Not that that's unusual for me, but because, as you all know, I've been having some health issues, and I'm not going to go into them today because you know all about that. And I am on the way up and out of that. Interestingly for me, these health issues started back with those eclipses we had in April and May. So what's interesting is that this time with the eclipses, they are kind of that there is work being done to resolve the problem. And I suspect that by March 25th, 2024, and April the 8th, 2024, I will get a resolution to my current health issues, and you will all get resolutions to whatever it is that started in April and May is still ongoing. It could even be a way of thinking. It could be something on an inner level, on that kind of self-development level. It very much is determined by where the eclipses fall in your chart. So what you need to know, and I know some of you are not familiar with your charts and with some of the terminology that I might use, because I try and make it as broad as possible so that people that do know their charts, I can say the full moon total lunar eclipse today is at 5 degrees Taurus, because that means something to people that know where Taurus is in their chart and where 5 degrees might be aspecting. For those of you that don't know, there is a course you can buy on my website, pennydix.com, which you can download. It I can't remember, it's something like $20 or €20, something around that. And anyway, it's very basic, but it does give you the basics. And there are 4 little videos in it with me explaining why certain things are so important to understand in your own birth chart. So, oh, Teresa, you bought it and you love it. That's so good, because I haven't had any feedback on it. And so it would be really lovely to get some feedback. Annabelle Sapphire, you meant Mars in Taurus, bit angry about what's happening to our planet, our beautiful planet Gaia. It doesn't deserve it. But you know what? I was having this conversation with a friend earlier. Our planet is smarter than we give it credit for. Our planet knows what it's doing. Our planet, our wonderful Mother Earth Gaia, will dispense with us because we are a human parasite that is raping in many ways the planet. So it's not going to happen now. It's not going to happen next year. It's not going to happen in our lifetimes or in the lifetimes of our great, 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 great grandchildren. But at some point, the planet will change because the planet goes through cycles. There are cycles of intense heat, of intense cold. It changes, and we have to roll with that. So Old Oak Tree Tarot, you bought my course and you love it. That is such lovely feedback. Thank you so much for that. And thank you, Christine, on point. Cycles and purging. You know, it's ever so egotistical and arrogant of us if we think we can solve the problems of the planet. Yes, we can all do our little bit to help. But you know what? The planet will spit us out and just forget about us when it goes into its renewal process. It will go dormant and then it will renew. I don't have to be right. It's my view. So, you know, you can look at what I'm saying and see how it resonates for you, or you can just let it go. So, what's this about you were crying last night and today? You've been working through letting old people go who aren't in your life anymore. Thank you for chocolate and coffee for being there for you this weekend. But you know what, HJP? Try not to swallow these emotional feelings of pain, because what you're doing is self-destructing. It may be comforting in that instant, but how does it serve you going forward? So think about that, because we all do it. I do it. Otherwise, I wouldn't know about it. But I'm doing my best to learn about it and make those changes so that I work with my feelings. I work with my feelings with trusted friends, with a good therapist, with my astrology teacher mentor. We use my chart or another chart to look at all these things psychologically. Let's get back to the astrology, because I'm digressing. So let's have a look. Have a think about how you've changed since April and May. And then we have to remember what is happening on April the 20th next year, solar eclipse in Aries, total solar eclipse. April next year is a big month. It's a massive mega month. Now, soon I'm going to be recording all my videos for 2024 in terms of your annual ultimate look at what the astrology has for each individual zodiac sign for the year ahead. So watch out for that when that comes out. There will be a short overview, and then I'll timestamp all your individual zodiac signs in the overview, but the actual zodiac signs will all be separate videos. So you can just, if you want to go to Aries, there's Aries. If you want to go to Gemini, there's Gemini. So that is going to be coming soon. Andy, you're here. Hi, Andy. You're on your way to a ringette tournament. So you'll catch the replay. Fantastic. Just wanted to like and boost your views. I love you, Andy. You're amazing. And I look like I'm 50 years old today. That old? Only kidding. Listen, thank you so much. I can tell you, I truly appreciate that. I really do. Bless you, Andy. And have a great day. So let's back to the lunar eclipse energy, because we have this full moon is widely conjunct Jupiter. Jupiter, remember, is my big boy of abundance, of opportunity, and luck. You know what? I think whatever leaves your life at this point shouldn't have been in there in the first place. And I also feel that Jupiter is kind of exerting a kind of blessed energy over this partial full moon lunar eclipse, bringing opportunity, bringing spiritual connection for you. Because remember, we're also coming up to the pagan festival of Samhain. Now, Samhain is on November the 1st, along with, it's also known as the Day of the Dead. And on the night before, as you know, is Halloween. And this is when the veil between the worlds, the two worlds of the living and the people that have passed over, is thin enough for us to contact the other side. So when it gets to Tuesday night, whatever way you might be celebrating Halloween this year, one of the things you could do before you go to sleep is think of a loved one who has passed over and just ask for them to be in your dreams. And if there is something you want to know the answer to, put that question to them or put it to the universe, because you might just get your answer. So let's see what else you're saying down here. Whatever leaves shouldn't have been there. That's right. And, you know, there's a season and a reason, as they say, for people to be in our lives. And sometimes we just outgrow each other. Also, we have friends in our lives that have been with us, say, for many, many years, but we don't see them very often. And on both sides, we forget when we meet up with these people that not only have we changed, but they've changed too. But we will be remembering, as they will, how they experienced us 3 years ago, for example. So this can cause a lot of anxiety and misunderstanding in very good friendships. So we need to kind of give each other a bit of slack with that, to understand and be aware and think, hang on, and actually ask the other and say, wow, what's been going on for you? How have you changed? What do you want me to know about you that is different now? You know, and not make assumptions that someone is as they used to be. Because as you know, growth and growing constantly changes. We change every day. Every day, something probably will occur in our lives that changes us in some small way. Back to the chart. So Jupiter is putting this wonderful energy over this whole full moon eclipse. And remember, this full moon is conjunct widely the North Node in Aries, which is why it's a partial eclipse. But let's think of the symbolism of this too, because with an eclipse, the moon, the light that we get reflected off the moon from the sun is intercepted by the planet Earth passing between the sun and the moon. And so we get the shadow of the Earth, the shadow of the material of the planet, of the substance, of volume, of things we can feel and touch. It covers the moon, which is elusive, which is intuitive, which is so kind of, it's clairvoyant, it sees, it knows. And with the Earth stopping the light of the sun, and if you think about it, the sun is the masculine and the moon is the feminine. And in between, we've got the Earth, which is our kind of theatre of play, where we all play out our lives. So there's something here about also getting out of our own way, because that is something we all need to do a lot of the time. Because we as I said earlier, we make assumptions about life, about people, about situations unfolding on the planet. I mean, today I've had a news-free day. I decided I do not want to know what is going on the planet today. But what I do know with this partial lunar eclipse is that it will have an effect in some way on what is happening politically on the planet. I think that because it's Taurus and because it's an eclipse, I think because Uranus is trining Venus, which interestingly, Venus, of course, rules Taurus, where retrograde Uranus is sitting. And remember, Taurus is about finance and about the world economy. And I don't know if any of you have noticed, but it's not doing very well at the moment. I've looked at my personal savings and the trend is down. So it's, but you know, what goes down has to come up. And I think we're going to see it go down a little bit more. It hasn't bottomed out yet. And this is partially due to what's going to be happening over the next 2 to 3 weeks because of the eclipse and because of the endings that are going to come from this eclipse, the changes that are going to come on the world stage. I think ideas that people have been trying to launch that are unrealistic will have to be taken off the table. I think that what's happening in the Middle East, they are going to have to tone down on both sides their kind of rhetoric, because there's a danger of a kind of understandable ego inflation, but it's not actually going to ultimately serve the greater good. And I think what they are all caught in at the moment is that repetitive cycle of you've done this to me, so I do it to you. And so let's breed another generation of hate. And sadly, that is what may come out of all of this because of the atrocities that have been happening in that part of the world. So yes, I love that idea, Nikki. You're going to boost your creative ideas into making income. And that's what we have to do. Whoops, I nearly knocked my water over. And it is actually just water. I'll have a little sip. There we go. Now, what we have to also look at, because I was talking about the money markets, is what's happening in Scorpio, because of course this is where the sun is. So, if you're looking at a chart, you could almost say the circle in the middle is the earth, which it is metaphorically for this the sort of the use of astrology. And the moon is in the upper hemisphere, so it's visible. So we now have dusk here in Malta. It's almost dark. And of course, don't forget, the clocks go back tonight. Well, they do in Europe. I don't know about the US because some areas are different. So it may be for a few days we have less hours difference. By the way, so that means if you've got a session booked with me this week and you're in the States, double check the time on go to timeanddate.com and just double check what the time difference is between Malta, Valletta, look for Valletta, Malta, and your location, like I don't know, Kentucky, for example. So just be aware. Thank you, Beth. US set clocks back next week. So we are going to get ourselves in a little bit of a pickle this week. I can see it now. And that's interesting. Ariana, you're in meteorology. Cool us in 2 months before we change. Oh, cool US is in. No. Explain yourself, Ariana. I can't quite get your message there. But okay, so yes, do be aware that normally I would have between me and New York, I would have a 6-hour difference. So this week it's going to be 5 hours. So just be aware of that. But I want to talk about Scorpio for a minute because this is where the sun is. And remember, Scorpio is a very deep and meaningful and powerful astrological sign. It has depths and hidden meaning that we can only just scratch the surface of. We are in Scorpio season. Isn't it interesting that Halloween comes in Scorpio season when we have the ruler of Scorpio, Pluto, literally opening the gateway to hell, because that's what Pluto does. And in a sense, that the symbolism of Halloween is about having the courage to look at the shadow of humanity, because that is what gets acted out in general and what gets acted out in our personal relationships. So what's this, Ariana? You did not know that. Is it that about the clocks, I think? Okay. Yeah, Kathy, Scorpios are something else. Your twins are Scorpio. Good luck with that. Gosh, they're going to be, whoa, wow. Clever little things. They're going to be powerful babes. But the Scorpio energy in this eclipse, remember, it's partial because the sun is loosely connected or conjunct the South Node. The South Node, remember, is about our karmic past. It's our karmic history. It's what we are bringing in to the energy of this lunar eclipse. So we've also got the planet Mercury, our planet of communication, and the planet Mars, our planet of action, energy, assertion, the god of war. And remember, Mars is a co-ruler of Scorpio. So both Mercury and Mars are in the sign they rule, and they are in opposition to Jupiter and this full moon. So what do we make of that? I think, and I don't know because I haven't watched the news today, but over the next few days, I think we're going to see a world leader standing up and some really, really tough talk coming out. Like, hey guys, enough, back in your corners kind of thing. Just cool it. Let's try and just Look at what's going on. I think that's been going on already, because I think when I saw the news yesterday, there was a little bit of that, but I think we're going to see more of that because, I mean, no, I'm going to stay neutral because I absolutely have sympathy, as Brandon says, with anyone who is caught in a war zone, who is feeling the pain and loss of a loved one. That is just appalling. Annabelle, good point. One of the leaders of the Arab League. I think that's a very astute kind of possibility. And Shirley Murray, you love Scorpios. Okay, darling. Cheryl, you raised 2 Scorpios 11 years apart by one day. Gosh, wow. So if you've got a Scorpio child, saddle up, love them both. I love it, Cheryl, and I love you. So we've got a sort of, the other thing that I like, that, and if you don't know who I'm talking about, Brandon Russ, conscious medium Brandon Russ, that I do the Whiskey and Bagels episodes with, that we're doing bi-monthly now, and we're live streaming it on both our channels. And we did one last week, and it was just such super fun. And we do it for the full moon, and we're going to do it for the new moon. That's how we're going to sort of put it out. But one of the things he says is, I don't have respect or like anyone who kills children. And, what can we say except, how can we disagree with that? And, we can't disagree with it. But back to this lunar eclipse, Scorpio is this shadow side of whatever might be going on in your own life. So in your own life, if you have issues in relationships, issues with others that are maybe somebody who doesn't get you, doesn't value you, or you maybe have to look at and inside yourself to see how much you value another. It's all around that kind of energy. And I think we have to make these lunations and full moons personal to make them really mean something. I mean, tonight, here in Europe, most of us are going to be going to sleep with the full moon energy all around us. And I think that's going to be fascinating, because maybe the dreams that we have in Europe tonight will in some way be prophetic. And I think it would be a really good idea, if anyone's watching from Europe, to actually ask the divine to show you the way, show you the best way forward, show you what you can do to, that's interesting. You're talking about one of your best friends is Scorpio, and she never sugarcoats anything. No, they don't. They don't. They do say it how it is. And remember, I'm Taurus, so my opposite sign is Scorpio. So I do my best not to sugarcoat too much either. So Scorpio is bringing up things from the past within. You might find memories from the past, memories also of what was going on for you in the spring of this year. And as I said, next April 2024 is a big month astrologically. It's big because we have this total solar eclipse in Aries. And for all of you to know, it's at 19 degrees. Oh, lovely. My neighbour's just started using his chainsaw. Hopefully it's on his trees. I don't believe it. But anyway, there we go. Oh, joy. So let's move on. What I'm going to do now is I am going to give you a tarot card for each sign, okay? Tell you the house area that your eclipse is falling in, and a tarot card for this lunar eclipse. How's that sound? Pretty good? Should we do it? Okay, let's do it. So this is for Aries. And listen, guys, this won't be time stamped because poor Jerry, he's got so much on his plate at the moment. And so I really don't want to burden him with saying, you know, that live I did last night, can you timestamp the tarot? I'm sorry, guys, you're just going to have to sit through it and wait for your turn. So here we go. Okay, Aries, it's in your second house of finance. So your tarot card is going to be all about how your financial situation is panning out, also about how you make your money and value yourself. And I think it's this one. And I don't know what it is, but here it comes. Now actually, that is pretty nice. That is the Page of Wands. So something you are working on, Aries, is going to be making you money. It's actually going to be, so you might find that you're finding a second income, or because your main job is not maybe doing so well because the way the economy is going, that you decide to do something part-time on the side that just brings you in a little bit of extra cash. But you certainly got ideas for it. And you know what? I'd go with it. So there we go. Now let's move on to Taurus. Well, of course, Taurus, as we know, this is in your first house. So it's all about you, which means as a Taurus, it's all about me. Of course it is. I jest, but I know you know my humor by now. So what's this? Your friend Catherine is Aries and she's doing Open University. Oh, that's amazing. I love it. I love it. Listen, this is for Taurus. Taurians, are you there? Yeah, I'm going to, oops. Oh, I don't know whether I like the one for Taurus, and I'm Taurus, but it's what fell out. It's the moon. But of course, this is the full moon in the sign of Taurus. So, of course, hi, Christine, you're Taurus. So actually, you see, the moon is an interesting card because it's actually about the shadow side of us. It's about our intuition and seeing behind the veil. This is seeing through what the eclipse is hiding. Somewhere, are you, Taurus, hiding something or keeping something back of yourself from others that you need to be sharing? And also, is there something that about yourself that you are sensing others don't get about you? They don't see your worth, your value. And this is not personal. I'm not talking about myself because I know I have people that see my value. I see my value. At least I do. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I'm going to stop that one. Anyway, moving swiftly on. So this is about your value as well. And it's also about your shadow side. So Taurus, this is about a little bit of inner reflection. I think of all the signs, Taurus, you are the sign that needs to be aware of opening up your psychic channels to what the divine might like to tell you through the dream state tonight. That's Taurus. Now let's move on to Gemini. Now, Gemini, for you, it's in your 12th house. Now, the 12th house is all about the inner you. It's about your psyche, your soul. Gemini, it's about, it's also about you and another because of your Gemini tendencies. And also it's about how you communicate. How's your communication going on around this full moon? Because, oh, it's that one. It's this one down here that's coming out. Let's have a look and see what we've... Oh, do not fear. Just because this looks a little bit scary, do not be scared or put off by the Nine of Swords. Because the Nine of Swords, if you actually look at the picture, the woman in the bed who appears to be worrying about everything, these 9 swords, which are all the problems that she's ruminating about at 3 o'clock in the morning, actually, they're not touching her. They're not piercing her. They're just there. This is when we overthink. So Gemini, be aware of your overthinking capacity at the moment and get out of blaming yourself and running yourself down. That could be something of what's going on for you at the moment, Gemini. So just be mindful of that. Now let's move on to Cancer. So for you, Cancer, it's in your 11th house of hopes and wishes. So what are you hoping for? What are you hoping to bring to a close, Cancer? You know, bringing closure on something that really has gone past. It's this one, sell-by date. Let's see. Oh, okay, we've got more swords. There's a lot of ruminating going on tonight. You know, the cards that are coming out tell me that this might be a night when all of us are a little bit restless with our sleeping. Now, remember, there is a gravitational pull of the moon on our planet. And because the light of the moon is being hidden by the light of the sun, masculine, feminine, we are getting caught in the middle. So be aware of that. And Cancer in particular, this card for you is, you know, you're missing the main chance here. You're looking back or thinking about something you really haven't sorted out or solved. But you have actually, you've done all the hard work. Cancer, why are you still making something in your life such hard work? Because that is what this is telling you. And this full moon is telling you you can let go of this and move on. Right, let's move on to Leo. Leo, our wonderful lion, our big pussycats. Oh, it's that one. Okay. Right, Leo. Well, for you, Leo, it's in your 10th house of work. And what we've got, interestingly, is justice. Now, justice is about balance, of course. And of course, it's actually, to me, it's Libra. I know some tarot readers have different views of what signs and what astrology represents cards. I say it how it is for me and how it resonates for me. And who's to say who's right and who's wrong, eh? We just all have different opinions. So this is something about Leo. When the energy shifts from Scorpio, when Venus moves further, or when Venus actually moves into Libra, things are going to change quite considerably for you with your career. That's what I feel, because somehow I feel there's going to be a sudden surprise, something out of the blue that comes along and almost knocks you for 6, so that you go, ooh, didn't see that coming. That's fun. That's interesting. Oh, that is going to be so cool. So there's something about that energy with this card, Leo. So now let's move on to Virgo. Virgo, this, is in your 9th house of higher education. It's learning, it's spirituality. It's also long distance travel. So thinking of going off somewhere, Virgo? You've got a kind of a passion for travel at the moment. Let's see what we get. Oh dear, I don't know. It's giving me a dichotomy here of 2, but my intuition says that one. So the top one it is. Let's see what we've got. Okay. So Virgo, 9th house. You're going to be making some plans. You are making plans for some kind of actually renovations that you've been dreaming about within the home. I know the 9th house is not about the home, but there's something here about learning and do it yourself. It's the sort of the do it yourself kind of DIY kind of attitude to home management and changing the home. So it's yes, Annabelle, plotting and planning, things like that. And who's going off to your Capricorn with Virgo rising, going off on holiday to Tenerife. Fantastic. And that is fabulous. And so that is also one of the I can't speak now, manifestations of this energy. So that's actually really good for you, Virgo. Now we are going to move on to Libra. Libra, the balanced scales, the light as a feather and heavy as a heart, or the heart that has to be balance out the weight of the feather. So what have you got? Libra, it's in your 8th house. Transformation, sex, death, beginnings, endings, birth, rebirth. And it's that one. Let's see what we've got. Oh, Libra. Are you the lucky sign or what? Libra, this is super cool. And, you know, this is going to be balanced out when Venus moves into your sign. I can't remember when it moves in. I'll have to check, but it's not just yet. But this is super cool because this is the sun. This eclipse, it shows, is specifically very important for you because the nodes are on the Libra Aries axis. So you are bringing in something from the past of value that is really going to help you transform and work with joint resources with another. This could see you balancing the books in a very nice way. So this is good energy, Libra. I just keep doing what you're doing and it's all going to work out great. Now we come to Scorpio. I've been looking forward to this one. 7th house, relationships, significant relationships, soulmate, twin flame, the other half, my partner, whoever this is. So let's have a look. What have we got for Scorpio? The cards are jumping around and it's the top one again. It's the top one. Oh, wow, Scorpio. You know, this is really good for your relationships. If you are in a permanently good, strong relationship, it's going to go from good to better. This full moon is going to help you let go of something that perhaps has been holding the relationship back. It's actually going to be really super cool. And, you know, Scorpio, if you were looking for a significant other, this card could mean that they might appear. But the timing is, in my opinion, 10 months. There's something about 10 months. Either they crossed your path already 10 months ago, or they're coming in 10 months. And maybe you have to wait for the next eclipses in 2024 to see what this is or how this is going to be unfolding, Scorpio. But nice energy. Now we move on to Sagittarius. And I shouldn't say this, but I used to have a friend and he was a fellow psychotherapist and we had an excellent friendship. And I was learning astrology at the time. It's going back years. I'm going back like 30 years. And I was talking about the signs and he was a Sagittarius. And so he said, well, I've always called it Shagaharios. But he was a little bit like that. He was quite basic and upfront. But I love that, actually, Shagaharios. But this is in no way disparaging to Sagittarius. I love you, Sagittarius. You're all absolutely amazing. And oh, this one's poking out. It's poking my finger. It's your 6th house of health, of day-to-day routine, and it's also pets. Oh, 10 of coins. This is about your financial situation improving from this full moon to the next. There is going to be some influx of money, and I would say a considerable amount. And there's something here about property. And yet the 6th house doesn't particularly rule that. But the 6th house is, of course, Taurus for Sagittarius. So what this is telling us is that it is there's a new property, or a property comes to you in an unusual way. You get left a property. There is something here that is very powerful around property. That's all I can say, Sagittarius. Now let's move on to Capricorn. Now, Capricorn, this is in your house of fun. Welcome to your house of fun, Capricorn, the 5th house. And this is also about creativity. It can, it's that one. Okay. It's that one. It can be about love affairs and meeting someone out of the blue and unexpected. Because remember, the 5th house is a Leo house, actually, but for Capricorns, it's a Taurus house. And so it is about creativity. It can also be about children. And if you don't have children, well, the full moon could mean if you are trying to get pregnant, it's going to happen. If you don't want to get pregnant, it's going to happen. But this lunar eclipse could bring in that kind of energy. And let's see what card you've got. The King of Wands. Well, the King of Wands is a very strong, boundaried, sound, really good man, a good, solid friend, ally, lover, partner. It can also be somebody like a doctor or a lawyer or somebody professional, an accountant. But this is somebody who it's the energy and power of that masculine energy. If we think about the fact that the sun is, its light from onto the moon is hidden by the earth. Maybe this is, Capricorn, about something new that comes to light, about somebody in your life that is important, and the ending of something that was perhaps causing them great stress and difficulty. There is something of that energy around this card. Okay, HJP, you're Capricorn. No chance of getting pregnant. It would be the Immaculate Conception. Well, there's still time. You could do it. So another Capricorn from the Netherlands. Hello. And yes, Annabelle, lucky Sagittarius, lucky Shagaharios. Your sun is Capricorn with Scorpio moon. Okay, well, no comment. And let's move on to Aquarius. So Aquarius, it's your 4th house of home, family, ancestry, and all of that love. Oh, we've got a choice of 2. My instinct says take this one, so it's this one. So let's see what it is. It's actually very nice, Aquarius. So this feels like money is being made available to you, Aquarius, to do some home improvements. It could also be that money that is owed to you by a family member or by a partner or something also through business is actually going to come to you. But it's like a gift of money. But also we have to remember that Taurus is about value. So sometimes when we talk about money and value and the tarot and money, it can actually be the value of something we're bringing in. It can be the value of love. It can be the value of relationship. It can be the value of just holding the space for someone because perhaps they're going through a tough time. So this really is nice energy, Aquarius. And finally, we come to, well, you know who it's going to be, don't you? Pisces, my oceans of emotions. What card are we going to get for you, Pisces, in your third house of communication? Let's see. And I don't know whether it's doing it on the live stream, but the lighting on the laptop keeps sort of dimming and then coming on, and then it's bright and then it's not. Maybe it's my laptop, I don't know. Maybe it's coming on the live stream fine. What's that, Penny? Penny C, love your channel, Penny. Thank you for all your hard work. You used to live in Gozo. Oh, wow. Where did you live, Penny? Let me know. Oh, you're a peony. Sorry, look, I can't see. You're a peony. Well, hello. And you're a Pisces with Jupiter in Taurus. Well, yeah, that's interesting. So is this full moon at 5 degrees conjunct your Jupiter? You're having your Jupiter return then, RMT. So, that could mean this is a very interesting full moon for you. Now, come on, Pisces, which is your card going to be? I don't know. Oh, it's that one. Okay. Right. Do we want to see it? Oh, what a lovely, lovely card. This is the 4 of Staves or the 4 of Wands. It is a beautiful card of harmony, happiness. Pisces, I think you might have been through a bit of a difficult, challenging, dark time. And what this full moon is bringing for you is some peace of mind, some good times with family, better communication in general with those that are dear to you. So, hi, Annabelle, you've been to Gozo. Wow, there's a lot of you that know where I am. That is just awesome. That's amazing. And so you could, this 4 of Wands for Pisces is really, really, really super cool. So there we go. That is the tarot for the full moon. That is the full moon. And I'm nearly up to that magical hour moment when, of course, one's attention span goes, whoop, that's it, can't watch anymore. So it sounds like it's a really good time to end. But don't remember. Well, that's clever, isn't it? Don't forget, tomorrow I'll be back at the same time, although it'll be an hour, and there'll be an hour's difference. It'll be an hour earlier for America, that the time difference hasn't changed. I think is how it works. But I'll be back with my live forecast of the astrology for the week ahead. And remember, I do the tarot too. I'm just getting quite addicted to it again, and I really enjoy doing it. Please let me know in the chat if you like the tarot too, because that helps me know whether I'm wasting my time or whether you're enjoying it. Hopefully you're enjoying it. So before I sign off, I want to say thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Your subscriptions mean the world to me, and we need to keep them, ticking over and churning in. Also, remember to go to my website, pennydix.com. I'm taking bookings for December. I will be taking time off over Christmas. I haven't worked out when yet, but I just can't stop working. I just like doing it. But I won't take so many clients over Christmas and New Year. And also remember that I'll be doing my live November stream on Wednesday, the 1st of November. And in that too, I will do your individual zodiac signs. They will be time stamped so that you'll know how to find them quickly. And the lovely Jerry will do that for me. And there was something, and don't forget to have a look in my little shop on the website and have a look to download the natal chart, how to read your natal chart very simply. And also I've got there's a calendar, a moon calendar, which is the moon calendar for 2024. I'll get it out in a minute. Oh, I haven't made it to 1900. It's 1900 here. I've gone over. I've run over time. Let me witter for a minute. So it's a moon calendar, and the lovely Andrea has produced this. And Andrea, as you know, does all my wonderful artwork. She's an amazing lady. And you can download that, buy it, and just check out my website. And please come and have a session with me. I always love to see you. I love working with you all. I meet such wonderful people. I haven't met anyone that isn't fascinating. You are all absolutely awesome. And on that note, I will say good night from Gozo. And I look forward to seeing you all very soon. And thank you so much for being here. There we go. End stream. And then I go like that. And I'll go